In almost exactly 1 year, Twice have gone from a popular K-pop girl group who hadn't yet been able to break onto the Billboard 200, Billboard's weekly ranking of the most consumed albums in the US, to one of the most successful musical acts from South Korea when looking at the American charts. Their rapid accumulation of successful projects, paired with the fact that they continue to hit impressive new highs every few months, shows that they are definitely a name to watch and one of the most exciting bands in the field. Here are 4 ways Twice made history last week simply by debuting their new EP on the Billboard 200. Second South Korean girl group to chart a top 10 album. It seems like every few months, another musical act from South Korea reaches the top 10 on the Billboard 200, as more and more bands and solo stars from that part of the world are making a noticeable commercial impact in the US. There are now 8 different groups from the Asian nation that have found themselves somewhere between NOS 1 and 10 at least once, but somewhat surprisingly, only 2 of them are made up of women. Twice became just the second South Korean girl group to chart a top 10 album on the Billboard 200 last week, following in Blackpink's footsteps. Their new EP Taste of Love debuted at No. 6, an impressive showing for an all-female act of any kind. Second highest charting album by a South Korean girl group last year, Blackpink made history by becoming not only the first South Korean girl group to enter the Billboard 200's top 10, but by charting one of the highest-reaching titles by any act from the Asian territory. The quartet's first full-length, the album almost became a rare No. 1 among K-pop acts, but it was forced to settle for second place after a popular rapper Surprise released a new set at the same time. As Blackpink's The album stalled at No. 2, it stands as the highest charting release by a South Korean girl group in the history of the Billboard 200. TWICE's Taste of Love only missed out on tying that showing by a few spaces, as the short set opened, and peaked, at No. 6. Tied for the most charting albums among South Korean girl groups, only 7 South Korean girl groups have reached the Billboard 200 at any point with any type of release, and just 2 have appeared on the tally more than once. With another win to their credit, Twice matched Blackpink for the most charting titles, as both acts have now sent a trio of efforts to the tally. Blackpink first reached the ranking in 2018 with their Square Up EP, which peaked at No. 40. The following year, they improved their best placement with another EP, Kill This Love, which rose to No. 24. As is mentioned above, 2020's The album arrived at No. 2. TWICE's More and More EP barely broke onto the list at No. 200 last June, and 6 months later their album Eyes Wide Open went to No. 72, bringing them to the upper half of the Billboard 200 for the first time.